Korea, we have the term 담백하다, which is pretty much kept simple without the unnecessities. So I would explain temple food in that way because it has basically what you need and very little seasoning. At the same time, it is what's called, what you can describe as 담백해. And to get a look at temple food, we're joined by Alex Segrist. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. But rather than focus on that, we have more healthy food coming up, and that is temple food, like you said. And it was a really interesting weekend because I got to go to the Seoul International Buddhism Expo, which put on display a lot of these foods. Now you got to make food there, you got to experience it, taste it. It was a really, really good experience. Lots of people, lots of foreigners even were there. But, don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at what was in store. Now, of course, there's a lot of growing interest in temple food these days, but with this growing interest, there's obviously a lot of opportunities to learn about it. Now, one of these places that you can learn about it is with the Venerable Sun Jae. She's a master of temple food, and her teaching was impeccable. Her class is always packed. There's actually a waiting list in the thousands for this. Wow. It was a great class to be a part of.
Roughly 180 people take classes here every week. We have 6 classes, and including those that I teach outside of here, it's a total of 8. We have a long waiting list, and sometimes the numbers even go over 5,000.
Now, with such popularity, temple food has established itself as a unique cuisine. But the nice part about it, though, is it's not really bound by the confines of religion. It's for anybody.
I know that temple food is good for you and that it's vegetarian, but I wanted to know more specifically how it's beneficial, so that's why I'm taking this class.
My family members really enjoy it. It's been a year since I've taken this class, and I really feel a lot healthier.
So let's do a little bit of background here. For some 1,700 years, temple food's been enjoyed in Korea, really after Buddhism was introduced during the era of the Three Kingdoms. Now, no meat, no fish, and actually no oshinche. These are these 5 ingredients that have too much of a strong smell to it. That's wild chives, onions, garlic, leek, and scallions. All the dishes are vegetarian, using natural
Instead
spices.
of the 5 strong ingredients, we use things like perilla seeds or pyogo mushrooms and dried radish to bring out a deeper, richer taste. It's good for the body because it allows it to more readily absorb healthy ingredients.
Now, the food doesn't have this overpowering taste and scent that you get nowadays. It's a very clean taste. By using ingredients that are seasonal, you get these medicinal qualities, these healthy benefits that come with it. Now, last year, the Cultural Core of Korean Buddhism conducted a study over the course of 8 months using 34 temple food dishes. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you consumed temple food in this study, you dropped 2.6% in your body fat percentage. And overall cholesterol, you dropped 21 milligrams per deciliter, obviously showing the healthiness of this food.
In the case of temple food, you can eat a variety of namul or vegetables that are in season. The rice is cooked with grains and other sugars are made with natural ingredients, so you can eat healthier foods.
So, of course, there's another element behind temple food that encourages healthy eating. And it's the idea that consuming food in 4 different dishes can help you reduce the amount of food. And also, you're not allowed to have leftovers, only eating what is necessary. The method of eating Paru Gong Yang is used by Buddhist monks. And as you're eating it, you're of course supposed to reflect on every single bite that you take. The cuisine goes beyond the element of food and is popular for this time of reflection to remember where it came from nature and from those who prepared it. Now, this was all very good, but I got to experience something a little bit different. In this particular place, as with other places nowadays, are highlighting the beauty in the colors of the food and the shapes to taste better for, let's just say, regular people like myself. It gave a more sensory experience. Now, although they abide by the basic rules, no meat, no ocean che, temple food has been reborn with these more vibrant colors and vibrant smells as well. And they bring in customers from all over the world. this temple food. I really got kind of to experience a little bit of the tradition as well as some of the good taste, and I don't feel like an ounce of guilt at all after eating this. It feels healthy. I feel a little bit better after eating this, and I'm overall completely satisfied with everything that I've experienced here. So do a lot of customers come to find this particular temple food setup?
보통 내국인, 한국
A lot of Korean customers visit our store, but we get a lot of foreigners, especially vegetarians or Muslims, who can't eat certain foods. When they go back to their home country, they tell other people about us if they've had a satisfying experience. So now we expect the number of foreign visitors to exceed our local clients.
So the growing interest in temple food both in and outside of Korea was noticeable at the festival held last week, where a large number of foreign visitors, including myself, also came to experience the cuisine. Now, a lot of people gathered to make mul kimchi with lotus roots. It's a type of this food, and it's showing how popular it has become recently.
Very healthy and kind of fit in the slow life. I think nowadays people just live too fast and they eat too much like meat animals, so we eat more vegetable and be more healthy.
I've done 3 temple stays so far, and I like the idea that you're not supposed to have any leftovers, like you're not supposed to waste anything. I think that's a very good concept. So much food gets wasted. So I think it's very healthy and it tastes very good, but I also like this concept of not trying to throw so much food away.
There were 11 temples that put on display their special recipes. They brought out their food, and they showed some really delicious food to all of us, really. Temple food, like kimchi and other seasonal foods, were laid out for the visitors to take a look at.
At festivals like this, we can promote what we've developed and help people easily understand the temple food. You can sit in on a lecture here and try out things yourself.
So temple food seeks to produce tastes that are a little bit closer to nature. It's kind of a little bit more natural, and it was really good.
In essence, we could call it vegan food, right?
It's very close to it. I don't know all the rules of veganism, but it was pretty close. I mean, they cut back on fish as well, and some other things that were made out of animal products. So it's certainly something that is attracting a lot of people because of it.
Some people make the mistake of thinking of temple food and only vegetable dishes, namu, but it's not. It's got lots of nuts as well as beans too.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I really found out when I was making the food and also just walking around. It's not just namu. You have beans, you have soybeans, you have certain types of potatoes. I mean, you have this large variety that comes. The noodles, actually, japchae was one of my favorite things I got to taste because it was really fresh. And everything from the jjigae as well. There's just a lot of options going around right there.
And also the dishes that give that modern twist to the traditional temple food.
That was coloring.
Right, that was quite interesting. And for those of us that want to go out to take part in these cooking classes that you showed in your report, how can we sign up?
Well, one of the ways is, of course, to go online or to read some of the Buddhist publications that are out there. Now, the one that I was in, that line is long. That's about a year for waiting.
Wow.
I mean, that particular one is a very famous one, a very popular one. But there's places around, there's about 30 different ones that you can get directly from Buddhist centers or temples. There's 20 where you can get it from department stores or culture centers. So really you just need to go online and look for a 3 to 6 month course, and you're able to do it yourself.
Or visit a nearby temple. If you're lucky, maybe they'll serve you a bowl of rice with some namu.
So what do you think, Alex, a future in temple food now?
You know what? It was actually surprisingly good and healthy, so I'm okay with putting a little bit more into my diet.
All right.
Not 100%, but...
great. Thank you so much. See you next week. All right, well, that's just about does it for this edition of Korea Today.
That's right, a little bit of the particulate fine dust out there. Beware of that. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.